People in the valley call me the cowboy pastor. A lot of people understand, and they always ask me these questions that, am I a real pastor? Yeah, I'm a real pastor. The difference between me and the rest of pastors, the rest of them say all the money's going towards the gospel. Now, how can all the money be going towards the gospel when they got a $50 million house and $200,000 cars? So the money's got to be going somewhere. And why is all these churches always saying money's evil? Then at the end of the service, they're always asking for money. Don't make no sense there either. You know, one thing I like, when I hear churches asking about donations, so one day I wanted to see and prove a point at the same time. Are they more about the money? Or are they really about helping people? So I picked up the phone one time and I called the church, and the secretary answered. And I said, hey, is the head hog there? She says, head hog? I said, yeah, is the head hog there? She said, if you're talking about our pastor, I wish you would say, is our head pastor here, not the head hog. I said, oh, I'm sorry. I heard that you guys wanted to raise money for your church, and I wanted to donate $30,000, and that's why I called. And she says, well, hold on a second, sir. Porky just walked in. I was sitting in church one day, and all of a sudden lightning hit the church. And then once the lightning hit the church, everybody got up and started looking around, and when the dust all settled and the fire went away, everybody looked in front of the church and see Satan standing up there. Satan looked at everybody, started laughing. Everybody got up and started running out of the church because they were scared. Satan looked down at the front row and seen my wife sitting there looking at me. Satan looked at my wife and says, lady, you know who I am? My wife says, yep. You're not scared? She says, nope. Satan says, why? Because the last 40 years I was married to your damn brother. Had a friend of mine. He was a pretty wealthy guy. He went to his wife. He says, honey, when I die, I want you to bury me with $1 million in my coffin. She goes, why? No, you promised me you're going to put $1 million in a coffin with me. She says, okay, I promise. Well, a week later, the guy died, and just before they closed the coffin, she reached over and put a box in there. I walked up to the lady and said, did you put $1 million in there? She goes, yeah. I said, why? She goes, don't get excited. I don't see him cashing any checks anytime soon. And on the way up here, I have a serious problem with you drivers. I was driving behind some people, and they said, and they kept driving real slow, and I kept up going behind them and say, hey, blowing the horn, and said, hey, listen, pull over. So they finally pulled over, and I went up to them and I said, hey, why are you driving so darn slow? They said, hey, the sign back there says 5 miles an hour. I said, no. That's I-5, not 5 miles an hour. And I looked in the car and I seen everybody else all in shock, and I said, what's wrong with them? She said, we just got off 101. My wife says, honey? I said, yeah, what do you need? She says, remember when we were young, how we used to kiss before we go to sleep? So I reached over there and I kissed her on the cheek, and I looked at her and I said, well, I think that's going to do it. A couple of minutes later, I was getting ready to lay my head down again. She says, honey? I said, yeah, what do you need? She says, remember when we were young, how you used to bite my ear? So I pushed back the covers, got out of bed, and she goes, what are you doing? I said, nothing. I'm just going to get my teeth. Let me introduce myself one more time. I'm the cowboy pastor. I do special events. I do fundraisers. I could do anything, anywhere in the world that you would like to have, and I could adjust to anybody's budget or anybody's price, because it's about making everybody happy and making sure everybody's successful in what they're doing. So I'd like to let you all know And before we go right now, and I'd like to tell you one more little story about what happened. I was one day I was just walking outside, and God says, "Hey, Dave." I said, "What do you want?" He said, "You know, son, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take you, and I'm gonna have you help all the children in the world." I said, "Like, what do you mean by that?" He goes, "Yeah, I don't want you to go out there no more and be doing what you're doing. I just want you to focus and give a good part of the money that you make to the hunger, to the young children, and to the people that need." And I said, "Well, wait a minute. Am I going to get anything?" He goes, "Yeah. You're going to get the most important gift. And I want you all to listen out there. This is very important." He said, "You're going to get the most important gift out of all." I said, "What is that, God?" He says, "The gift of love."